And I've had it for years and years and years, and it finally died on me. So I was at the intersection of having to get a new one. And I believe in electric, I guess you call battery powered products pretty strongly. So I wanted to find one that didn't have to mess with a cord, because I roll my cart around for my saws and want to be mobile with it and not have to hassle so much with cords. So I was curious if there was one out on the market that had a lot of power and a lot of suction. And looking at reviews and other videos, I've seen that this one seems to pack a pretty big punch. Warning ahead of time, it is a little pricey. It's not as expensive as some of the other, shop vacs that are out there, that can range up to well over $1,000. But this one was right around the $500 mark. So I hope it performs. I hope that it does as well as their lawn equipment, because their lawn equipment, in my opinion, is second to none. I have tried everything under the market, from Echo, Husqvarna, DeWalt, and yes, I am a big DeWalt fan, but nothing measures up to their ease of use, ergonomic features, efficiency features, and things that I've seen and experienced with the lawn equipment. And they have the same stuff that's on this, such as a wireless on-off button for you when you're using your tools if you want. And then the efficiency of it being in a small compact package. I don't need a lot of gallon storage like you see a lot of shop vacs that have 16, 18, 20 gallons of storage. I just don't need it, because I use a dust separator, and all the dust goes into a bucket for my sawdust, and for storage. This 9 gallons is going to be plenty. Plus, it'll table saw and my chop saw. It'll fit underneath it real nice and neat, so it'll be compact and easy to put away. So after opening it, it's packed. It's really well. Comes with your charger and the battery. So you may see it out there for, I think, $3.99 in some sites, but that comes without the battery. So make sure you take note of that and don't think, well, good Lord, I found a good deal on it. So seems like it's really light. So it's really compact. Two heavy duty looking little rubber wheels on the front, on the back, casters on the front, locking casters, and stowage for the tubes there in the underside. But let's crack her open and see what it looks like inside. I'm sure it's got all the other parts in the inside. Now that we got it up on top of the counter, we can look at the top a lot better. So it looks like inside of this compartment has your tools from your carpet cleaner, suction, and an adapter. Then the remote to cut it on and off with. It's pretty neat, cool little storage area. And your power button, start, stop, speed indicator, and then there's a turbo function that gives you a little extra oomph, if you will, to get up to the 110 CFMs. As well, your drain plug for your wet function. Inside, it's going to have the tube, if you will, for the vacuum, upright vacuum part. Really nice hose. Inside also is a bag and some more tools. So the first cool feature I've seen so far after taking just the lid off is the bags that it comes with. I'm sure are much better than the bags that I've used on my shop vac because they were more papery. This is like a thick felt And also there's a rubber gasket here that's going to help seal the dust from actually getting inside. Some of your cheaper bags, they just don't have that. It's a flimsy cardboard piece that goes in. This is a thicker cardboard. It's almost, I would say it reminds me a lot of a very, very thin MDF, but it's very durable and slides right in perfectly. It's a tight fit. And on the underside is your filter, and it's a square filter. So it also has a function to clean itself, to help keep the filter lasting longer, which was a positive from one of the reasons why I bought it. Took the liberty of unpacking some of this stuff. The cool feature I've always liked is I hated dealing with my tubes on my shop vac, to the point I just throw them away because I use it as a dust. But this has it built in the bottom. It's like little mufflers. But that's just, they thought of everything here. And easy to put it back on. Snap on the back, the battery will go on the back here. And one of the things I've neglected to mention on the remote, it came in with a USB charger. So it will plug in a little rubber protector there, unplug that, and then to charge it up. That's big bonus. Also in the back with the storage is a place for your tool there. And I like how they even thought, I don't know if it was, I'm sure it was done on purpose, but if it wasn't, what a luck. It goes in, and on my other shop vac, it's this huge big canister, it's bulking, and it's always been flimsy and garbage. It would always come open on you. But here, it snaps right in, and if you notice, it's flush. And it tucks up into the carriage of the vacuum, which keeps the whole unit in a small condensed version, which is going to be perfect to go into where I'm putting it. All the tools fit into their own little crevices, like that, goes right in, sit up there. So I am so excited. Your manual is your warranty registration. Make sure you do that. And then a manual for the battery charger, a manual for the battery, and then for the vacuum itself. Take a minute and run through the instructions. I'm not going to go through them all here. And yes, I know it's common sense, but there are little things that you could probably miss if you don't take the time to read the manual. So registering your product's really easy. Just go to egopowerplus.com, and it's their website for their advertising part. But also, if you go to the right-hand side, you'll see 3 lines to sign up for an account. And then once you sign in, it'll take you to my account center. And then you would go to My Tools. And then you can see there's a button right there to register a new product. Now remember, you got to register the battery, the charger, and the vacuum. So any of the power tools, you have to register all of them because they're all under warranty individually. So as you can see, I've got all of my blowers, the mowers, etc. there. So I hit register a new product. Next. And select which one you got. So remember how I told you that you will see the cheaper version out there because that doesn't have the battery. So I've got that one, the 9-gallon with power, and you would select I have my receipt. Then you would upload your receipt and the place you purchase, date of purchase, and then you would put down your serial number, which on the battery is on the inside of the black sticker, real small white on the top right here. And on the back of the charger, left-hand bottom corner, you'll see that white bar that's going to have your serial number, and same thing on your vacuum, it's on the inside. So I'm going to take a minute to do that and run with it. So let's see how loud it is. I hit the power button because there's no power button on the remote, and the green light's lit up and it shows that it is powered on. I'm using, the good thing about having Ego products is you'll have multiple batteries. Like I'm using my lawnmower battery on it because obviously the battery that came with it is not charged up yet. But let's get it a go. So start. Much more quieter. If you listen to the, you hear how loud a shop vac is. I mean, that's really loud. So I have the Ego on and you can't hear it over the shop vac. How much more quieter it is. I do have it hooked up to my dust separator just to give it a whirl. Then the turbo button, doesn't really get that much louder. And off of the turbo. So, like I said, you can't adjust the speed but at the control. And there's two different speeds, slower, less. So I wanted to show you the cleaning part and how it works. So like I said, run your hose and you'll put it onto the holder there for it. Cut it on. Hit the turbo button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you clean it. So forth and so on. Do it 3 to 5 times, depending on how dirty yours is, and that'll clean the filter out and keep your filter lasting longer. And again, remember, you can wash the filter, so that's a plus. You don't have to buy filters anymore unless this one gets so dirty that you can't wash it. So one final feature that I want to show you that's pretty cool. Now, I'm sure it's not designed to be an actual blower, but your hose will click into here and the hose becomes the blower function. When I say not a blower, like a leaf blower, but it's good to blow your equipment off or what have you. So then I can hit the turbo button. I can hit the turbo button and it blows everything off that needs to be blown off. So that's pretty cool. Not sure I'll use it that often, but that's cool. So, trying to get down here. To test out the vacuum part, I put on the tubes in the vacuum. I cut it on turbo and you can see the enthusiast. Well, that worked good too. And so just as a little side, I'll show you my dust collection here. So on Amazon, I found this separator here that goes from 2 different zones, if you will. And I've put in PVC pipe as my tubing into the DeWalt hose, which quick connects into the top suction. And then around to the back, 1.5 inches fits in perfect flush and tight. But I did put tape around it to make sure it seals up good. I have a clean out port here in case dust gets caught in there and I need to clean it out. Goes around to my module here to separate between the table saw and the chop saw. So all I do is pull the 2 blue levers and slide it over to use the chop saw and over there to the table saw, and it goes into the cyclone system, which that end right there would hook into the vacuum. I did have it mounted here to the side of my cart for the shop vac that's mounted underneath it. So I'll end up putting this into there and it'll fit perfect. But I don't need the power actuator there that cuts on the vacuum when that's powered on. And I store it away And on the side, I put a plug in, an RV plug, if you will. Got that on Amazon as also, and it just plugs right in. And then I can seal it up and push the cart into storage underneath the staircase in my garage, and then bring it back out and plug it in just like anything else. And that's a 20 amp cord going to a 20 amp circuit, so that I'm not over taxing the circuit with all this equipment. But now I'll have the vacuum separate from everything else, and it's kind of futile, but that's my setup. Oh, and over there I had if I just use my chop saw, I don't need all the powerful of this. If I'm just cutting little pieces of pine or something like that, I use my cordless DeWalt vacuum for that. And down there I have the planer. If I use that, then of course that'll be plugged in. And in the side of it, I have the surge protector there if I need to use it for any kind of plug tools, which I don't have that many of. I put a battery charger in for charging the saw if I need it. And then to the side, like I showed on my other cart, I have one of those plug-ins that will power up the whole cart if needed. But if I'm just doing some quick cuts, because my saw is a 60 volt DeWalt cordless miter saw, and the vacuum powers off the same batteries, so I won't need any electronics to run it, electricity to run this, except for that. So I've got it plugged into the dust separator and into my miter saw. So let's see how it works. Like I said, I've got the remote here, so I can start and stop it with my hand. Then I'm going to hit the turbo to give it a little more. I can already hear more suction coming through the saw itself. So it picked up more sawdust. I'm not going to get into the engineering of volume and things of that nature, but like I've always said in my videos, does it work well for me, and does it do the job for me? So there it showed more suction than my shop vac did. But let's do it on the table saw. So we tried it on the miter saw. Let's see what happens on the table saw. So I have a separator here to change between the miter saw and the table saw. Let's see how it does on that same piece. It looked like it did pretty good. Is it as good as my dust system at work, sucking every single bit of dust there is? No, but it does really well for the punch that it's packing. Granted, it is, a very powerful cordless vacuum, but it is a cordless, battery powered vacuum. So, I think I've done well with it. We'll see over the course of time how it works out. So after cutting that MDF, I have to say I'm very, very happy with it. It did much better than my shop vac. Granted, nothing at all wrong with the shop vacs. If you're using shop vacs, keep using them. I just wanted to try something different. This shop vac I've had, I think, probably close to 10 years, and it just gave out. I had not had any problems at all with it. Ran flawlessly, replaced the filters in the bags. That's annoying, replacing the filters all the time, and it can get pricey because those get expensive. And replacing the bags constantly as well, because I do a lot of woodworking here. But they presented a gateway when it broke to try something new, but I just can't see spending $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 on a vacuum. I'm just not doing enough woodworking to substantiate that. At least that's what my lovely bride says, but I agree with her on that. So I met halfway between the two in price budget. Like I said, this one was in the $500 range. So it's providing everything that my shop vac did. Yes, before you say it or anything, yes, that's much more than shop vacs. Shop vacs are $200, $300 for the good ones. But for me, to have the small compact package with a lot of power behind it, the problem with the shop vacs is that they have the power, but you have to buy these big, huge 9, 10, well, excuse me, even up to in the teens of gallon storages, and that's just wasted space. I want to be efficient with my space because I don't have a lot of it to spare. And this fit in that package, so that's value added to compensate for it. Then the self-cleaning feature that it has and the washable filters eliminates that long-term cost usage. So if you're looking for, you know, a little bit less of a investment than those powerful vacuum shop vacs that are over $1,000. We know the ones I'm talking about. Love to have one, but just can't substantiate the cost. This is a good happy medium in my eyes thus far, but I'll use it for a little while and make a follow-up video to see how it's going along the usage of it. But until then, thank you for your support. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments. Any questions, I can try to answer them, or I'll try to figure it out. Or if you want to try something, let me know. But appreciate it as always. Have yourself a wonderful day, and be safe out there.